and welcome to the Unapologetically For Truths podcast with your hosts, Lakeisha Fry and Jessica Bennett. Here at For Truths, we hold space for real conversations with a mission to explore, unpack, and find resolve for topics that impact our communities most. We saved you, our listeners, a seat at the table, and that fourth seat, that offers us all the spiritual guidance from the Most High. To stay in tune with what's true to us, make sure you subscribe to all of our social media channels at Unapologetically For Truths. Now let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to Unapologetically For Truths. We are your hosts, Lakeisha Fry and Jessica Bennett. Hey, so we saw you guys liked our last week's topic. We talked about access denied. Before then, we talked about mental health. We felt moved to take the conversation to a different topic this week, and we're going to chat about relationships. So that is what we are going to do. If you guys have any suggestions on upcoming topics, or if you have input about things that we are speaking on, please feel free to drop them in the comments. And as Jessica likes to say, don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
All the things, all the things.
All the things. Absolutely. All right, sis, relationships. Get us started.
Oh, that's a deep subject. But I want to start with the relationship as opposed to a man and a woman, not as a status, being married. I think a lot of time people jump straight to marriage when you're talking about relationships, and then sometimes people jump straight to being single. You know, there's no middle ground of understanding what a really a relationship is, and there's no really, getting to the root of who you are in that relationship as an individual and as a whole. And a lot of time I feel like in this society that, people get in relationship and don't have a clue. And they always say, well, you should date to get data and understand. But you can't get data, which you don't even know what when you get ready to start searching information, you have a baseline of what you're looking for. But if you
Mhm.
can't look for the baseline and you don't know about, I'm always gonna bring the mental health piece back in because you can't go look for data when the data's not in you. So if you're looking for compatibility, and I'm always like again, are you looking for somebody to meet the needs of your ego, to meet the needs of your insecurity, and meet the needs of your trauma bond?
Mm.
And the trauma that you have have been unfortunately, unintentionally, or intentionally have been caused from childhood, from parents who didn't know who they are and they put their own life in you, or you came from a bad relationship where you should have been studying your books as a teenager, and you all in different kind of relationships, and then you taking on people mindset of what you sculpting your life, your relationship around what you done been through, your experience as too early on. The rejection in a relationship, the fear of relationships. And I can say that, things that I have been through, and we'll get through it later in another topic, that, it's not so much a fear, it's just like I have a wall up. Because once you've been hurt in a relationship, you don't want to experience that again. And it's hard to trust. So then you start identifying people who will that you can trust, or you ain't gonna trust. You go in a relationship like I'm gonna have all kinds of walls up, or you know what I'm saying. They only can go so far, and then also I would like to say, people mindset is great relationship to intimacy. Intimacy is not sex. Intimacy
Say it again, sis.
intimacy is not sex. You can have dogs have intercourse, animals have intercourse, but that's not intimacy. That is a period of conception between two human beings or two things, or I call it animals. But the intimacy is knowing your mind, a person's mind, their soul, their core, and most of things, their God. If you don't have the foundation of God first, if you don't have a foundation of who you are first, How can you go collect something that you have not even surveyed in your own life? Turn it back over to you, sis.
Well, dang. I like what
Unapologetic for truth.
I like what you said about trauma bonding. A lot of us do not realize that we do that.
Mhm,
I myself can say you do that without paying attention to your actions until it's too late. You
mhm.
know what I mean? And that is something that can make or break a relationship. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I myself, I feel like I fall in love too easily,
Mhm,
very easily. I attach,
mhm.
and I believe that I believe myself to be just one of those persons who just likes being in love. Just you
Yeah.
just like being, with someone. You just like the idea, not just the idea of it, but you just like the feeling that comes with that. You like
Right.
everything that just kind of is part of that
The
package.
the benefit package.
The benefit package, right? Yes.
Yes,
Benefit, you
yes.
gotta you gotta tag that one. The
Yeah,
benefit
that
package,
will be part two, but the benefit, let me go, let me let you go ahead and roll with that because it's a benefit package.
The benefit package.
After,
But
after you don't survey your own life and collect the data of who you are, and then you
uh-huh.
know what you want, because you
Hmm.
can't be out here surveying people and say that's my girlfriend, that's my boo, when you want to look them on the scope of outside, but you don't even know the scars that's inside of them that is attaching to you, and then you got all hell breaking up in your life, and you don't know where it's coming from because you did the survey incomplete. Okay, let me stop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like that's where I go wrong is I
Right.
jump in head first. And I don't give the time to myself or the other person to really get into those hard conversations where you're
Mhm.
digging into, the depths of their relationship history, or not just relationship history, but of who they are as a person to make sure this is somebody that you can bond with,
Mhm.
somebody that you can have maintain a future with, you can create a longevity with.
Mhm.
Um, so I do notice that about myself is I do jump in head first. I think I do the homework in the beginning.
Mhm.
I think I'm
Mhm.
being thorough. But in the end, when I take a step back and try to think about where did I go wrong or where did things go wrong, I do realize, well, I didn't know that person as well as I thought I did,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right.
And with that being said, in full transparency, I've been married and divorced twice.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm currently single.
Mhm.
And I feel like just now in my 40s, I
Mhm.
am taking time to really get to know myself,
Mhm.
to really sow into myself so that I can make sure that I am offering, my best self to somebody else when that
Mhm.
time comes around again.
Sure
And
you will.
then I feel like at that time, at that moment, I then will also know what it is that I need in a relationship to move forward,
Right.
take the necessary steps in order to get to a point where I can find that longevity that I'm looking for. I can be in love like I want to be, but when it's coupled with longevity and it's coupled with someone who is prepared as much
Mhm.
as I feel like I am, then I think
Mhm.
it will make a big difference.
I-
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then also with that, who I have never been married, and I'm 25, you know.
Divided by two, carry on.
Access denied. Okay. So don't Google. You're gonna get wrong information all the time. You're all the way to the White House. You're gonna get
Mm,
wrong information. So it is,
yeah.
but you gonna get bend your knees and talk to the Father. Now you might get a straight answer because he don't lie. Okay, okay, he don't lie. But but I desire to be married
Hmm.
in this season in my life because I know to be married is on purpose. And then I was told for many, many, many years that a man, he don't, a man needs a woman.
Hmm.
And they always people put me in a category that, where, you're not needed. or whatever. And I came to the conclusion, I don't want to be needed. I want to be wanted and desired. Because you need a dog to walk. You need to pay your bills. But to want it and to be desired is on a whole another level.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
because men like, well, I don't have to provide. You're trying to provide in a scope where you're not, where you cannot, because until you come into the wholeness of understanding who you are, I don't care if I make $800 million. It don't even matter. It don't even matter because when you put it in God's plan that the two is one, it's not my money, it's not your money. It's actually we're leaseholders of God's money,
Mm.
and to impact on society what we do with that. But I don't want to be needed. You don't need a man. I want to be desired. Desire when I is the googliness. It's the I mean, when he get off work, he's not taking a stop around the corner at Veronica's house.
Mm.
Because he desire Veronica. He coming here with the needy wife. Can you get me this? Can you get me that? Can you pay for this? Can you that? And in the man's head, he don't say it at first because his ego, because the woman that he's with trying to make, I need you, I need you. But if he look back and I've been saying it wrong. It's not Milgram experience because that's the outliner. It's Johara. You know how you the one side you look back and you're blind side and all the things. If you look back and you say, well, if my woman knew how to get up and cook those red beans and rice, when I run in, this inside, we won't be calling Uber. Neediness. So when to a man's case, you need to stop. And I'm not saying well, I am. That you want a woman that she needs you. You
Mm.
want a woman that desire you, and she desire enough that you be saved and love God. She desire enough that feel your purpose, your God's plan, purpose in your life. She desire because when somebody desires something, they're dying to their self. They're
Mm.
not just, oh, he need to do this and he needed to look what you're saying. He need and she need to do that because you don't spoke it out your mouth that you need a woman, that you need a man. No, I desire a relationship on purpose,
Mm.
a God's plan that we working together in the same mindset cohesively because the Bible said that two is better than one. When you fall, I can pick you up. When I fall, you pick it up, and then when we both win, and we still picking up. We not even now. Now we so whole in ourselves, still yet flawed because we can't ever be perfect. But we able to
Mm.
pull others people up in the place that we've been healed and whole from. So going back to trauma bond, I know a lot of people just really need to hash that out in soul ties. And so, I mean, like because you had, sexual relationships or you have relationships, you got souls, it goes greater, it's deeper than that. It's deeper that because that boy that's in you and that little girl in you that never been healed is tied to an experience at 5, 4, 16, 13, 17, 21, 22, and they bring that in a relationship. And then, we're doing an overview tonight, and I don't even want to talk about, how sex, which is not intimacy, because but I'm done. What? That's not intimate. What? You know what I'm saying? What happened? That is not intimacy. Okay, this grown folk talk, y'all. Grown
Mm.
folk. But we want to tip around it. So when you lay down with Paul, you run now because you're because the Bible said, and I'm always gonna go this because God is pleased. He said, present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. So because you have laid down, and no judge, we know we don't judge here because we heard us, we flawed, okay, but we working unto ourselves unto Christ. We're working ourselves to a better person, a better individual in society, correct? But the thing is, when you lay down with Paul, Paul has been abused. Paul has so much negativity. Remember, Paul You know what I'm saying? Paul didn't know what his self-worth was. Now, because you lay down with Paul, then Paul laid with you, but you got an experience. You got experience with Sally. Sally has anger issues. I'm just saying all this stuff that you don't put in your body, just like food. When you put the sneaker bar, you put the Kool-Aid and the pickles and all the stuff that we don't supposed to eat in our system, become toxic. So now that you was a person that you had a clear view of where you was going, and then but you had different areas that you still have not did that homework. Week before last, 2 weeks years ago, talking about doing the homework. You still have areas in your life that have been penetrated by other people, and now you toxic. It's not like we're saying tonight that the person that you're dealing with is a bad person. It's just not your person. And when we're realizing relationships, that when a person, I mean, you study trying to pull a puzzle in a circle, and I've been around people like, oh, they look good together, they together, they together. But what is your purpose? Your purpose is not going to the movies. Your purpose is not going up and down the road. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for travel and do all those things. But it's more than that. Because when your back is out, when your back is to the wall, and you're frantic as a man coming in your house, and you got a hauling wife that's woo, or you got an opposite, a woman that's tired, her feet swole, she got kids running around, she don't know what to do, and you up here, you got emotional trauma, bonds, all this, you dealing with stuff from 10 to 15 years ago, and you got a house that's on fire, and nobody know how to put it out. Nobody, because if you went to God and say, "Is this my purpose?" I know a lot of time, Dr. Fry, and I'm gonna turn it back to you for a minute.
Hmm.
People say that God do not choose your mate. I beg to differ. Because if He named the birds of the field, He created the fowls of the air, and then He took the bone out of Adam. Is it Adam? I'm writing the Bible. Out of Adam and made Eve, and he took it out. So he could have named it anything else, but he put a name on that woman. He called her one man. So I know that people say this and that, but it's a direct, I think it's a fine line. And when you go to God, is this my purpose? Because whatever you are walking into, wherever God is calling to you, it's gonna come in alignment. It's gonna come in alignment. If God calling you Dr. Fry, and he was like, and somebody said, we're going out here to form. Okay, how many needles you gonna put? You know what I'm saying? How many? It just gotta make sense.
Right.
In these days in our society, we're not making common sense in relationships. It just
Absolutely.
common sense. It's common sense. Or she fine, she got butts, lips, chips, and all the dips and all the things. But can she pray you through? When your boss is getting on your nerves and you about to lose your job, do she have a definite plan that y'all meeting together on a budget? I'm not talking about a budget for a house, a car, or whatever. Those are things. Well, budget when hell breaks through in your life, you say, "Baby, come on and sit down. Go home and sit down. We got it. We know how to make the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We know how to make a pot of greens. We know how to get through this storm in our life. Somebody's sick in the family. We know how to those this is kind of woman, this was kind of man that you need, if you want to say need, but this is kind of woman that a man that you should desire. Need is
Mm.
get you through the door, but the desire keep you in the home.
All right now. Now, question.
Answer it.
Sex is not intimacy. What is intimacy?
Ooh.
I
It,
think
it, it's
quality time.
it's quality time, but it's like when your soul, to me, is when you come in the presence of a person that is your person and are fired, not in lust, ignites every capability that the world said that you cannot do. that you in that
Mm-hmm.
present with that person, because that person is standing with God, can tell you you can do anything you can put your mind to. I'm talking about you walking out like my, oh my, what you say I can do what? You say I can have these businesses. You say I can achieve this. I'm talking about intimacy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about taking your hand and say, honey, let's get on the floor and let's begin to pray and see what God's talking about. I'm talking about intimacy. I'm talking about because see, it's the likeness of Christ that desire intimacy with us through prayer. It's the
Mm-hmm.
likeness in Christ light want us to have intimacy with one another in conversation. Because remember, we are spiritual beings carrying energy.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can come into and now I'm not talking about just blow smoke. I'm talking about really understanding your purpose. And when you get in a tough time, and even when you get on a high time, I can pull you back down and say, baby, you're moving too fast. You're moving too. You own the alignment. You own your trajectory or where you're supposed to, but you're moving too fast. And that person be able to hear you. Oh, okay. Because they understand that's intimacy. Okay, I need to slow down a little bit. Yes, slow down. Because we don't want to run into a brick wall. And that person can sit
Mm-hmm.
back. They can sit back and they can sit back about a week from there. You don't have to be 5 years, a week from there. And they get a phone call and they say, man, we're so glad that you didn't sign that deal. She said, my wife or my husband told me not to do it. And then they be like, oh Lord. So when you go into the bedroom, oh, it's all that in the bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? It's all that in the bag of chips because look, we're not homeless. The lights are on. The kids are taken care of. We're communicating the way we need to because we're hearing and we're listening what God is saying about us, that intimacy, that
Mm-hmm.
that prayer time, that and it's about it's and then the best intimacy you can have to me is a strategy. I'm a business person. I'm talking about a strategy for us to win in life together. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. You know what I'm saying? You got them eggs over there. Well, I'm going got the butter. You know what I'm saying? We cooking and we let it cook tonight. I know it's getting deep up in here. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot because these are the topic. It's hot. Let it cook. Nah, I don't listen to all of Gloria, but I don't heard let it cook. It's hot tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because you know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
quoting Glorilla.
Remember, Dr. Fry is
Okay,
from
sis.
NOLA. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
He
We're
from
not
Memphis.
boring Christians. I was talking to somebody today and I said, if people really knew, people that have been sitting in front of me for years, don't know me like Dr. Fry, and then somebody else I know, they don't really know me. I am a funny person. I like to laugh. That's another part of intimacy. Every time you come in, uh, uh, you know what I'm saying? Or and you or girl, he bought me a purse, or you go buy your own purse. Go buy your own car. You know what I'm saying? Go go buy your own thing.
Yeah.
But when he can say, run your bathwater for real and you just go to bed,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about all the other stuff. That you can do, and you wake up relaxed in the morning, then that's a whole nother type of time. And after God, you talk to God, that's a whole nother type of time there. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm full of energy now. Talk to God 3 o'clock. Yeah, I'm on my husband time at 5:30. See what you did there? I knew it was gonna work. I knew you know what I'm saying? He done strategized a plan.
Yeah.
I put no more burden on my wife. She been on the floor at the hospital all night. He been on the floor, doing the Uber. Cause ain't nothing wrong with Uber, because I do taxes. Hey y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I done seen the
Mm-hmm.
receipts. They make good money. They make good money. And they have their own schedule. So he strategized, I want to spend intimate time and have an intimate time with sex and have an intimate time in conversation with my wife. So I'm not gonna be all in my flesh tonight. I'm gonna let her rest, get the kids down and everything, and then we're gonna have breakfast in the morning, 2 times.
Wait, let me get my glasses on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I want to do it too. Yes.
You got
So
Noah and ATL out here in these streets talking about relationships. It's hot. I know it. I know it. Y'all thought we were talking about ooh, child. Yes, things. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But if we don't deal with the core of why we in these relationships, and we jumping out of bed with people, and the disease is not just HIV. The disease is just not herpes. Disease is not clamps and whatever you call chlamydia and all that. But the disease of the mind and the heart are not being healed. And you take on that whole person in your soul, in your core. And then you wilding out, you crashing out like it's like somebody like what type of time you on? Why you angry? Why you mad? Because you dealing with an angry person. You got that same spirit. Because remember, we're spiritual beings. I'm not trying to get deep for those that not wherever you believe in. But what it is, what it is. Because when you leave this body, when you leave this, you die. Something happened. When you came in here, something happened. You know what I'm saying? So when you look on that trajectory that you are a movement. You are currency. You are energy. So if you want to say it like that, that same person. I'm not going to deny who God is. Okay, I'm just make sure the glass is straightened up tonight. We're not saying that, but I'm saying the core of that person, who they are, and you have opened up yourself to them, is now within you. You angry. You mad. You upset. You got tension. You got anxiety. And nothing wrong with people walking through anxiety. I get it. But sometimes, more than a lot of time, it's who you don't lay down with. It's a lot of time it's who you don't lay down. Because remember, your soul, now you like, oh man, when I talk to you, you seem like you talk to Jessica. No, I ain't. No, Jessica, practice celibacy. Let me let you know. And now I ain't always been on that type of time. I'm gonna be honest. But because of the trauma I have experienced through different things, and we won't talk about that in relationship, when we do talk about a full blown episode of sex and how you have trauma in sex in your past relationship, how it affects your sexual, drive and all the things, we're gonna talk about that. We are. Because if you be why would we have a 4 week series and skip around like a lot of people do? God deals with the whole man, the whole man. And we're gonna ask him, we're gonna come back on one day. I probably have a live on this and really talk about intimacy in a way that you guys, as the other one of our truth, it's me and Dr. Fry and God's truth, which is the ultimate truth. And then as the listener, you guys have a truth as well. But we skip around a lot of things, Dr. Fry. We skip around a lot of things, from the money. You can talk about the money, but the true value of what need versus want.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I'm gonna turn it back to you. But if you can get that, the need versus want. I
Mm-hmm.
need a woman to do this. But what if the woman showed up, Dr. Fry, and she already doing this? Is that not your person? Is that person is because she already whole?
Mm-hmm.
He already whole in that area. Well, see, that's why the devil has messed the folks up. Why would you want to go after somebody and be with somebody that they had to do all that work? You got to you got to do all this work. Dr. Fry showing up, she's already educated. Well, I need a woman she working on herself. Well, Dr. Fry she already done worked on herself. But you need somebody to be worked on that you can work on. Why would you want to scratch yourself out and get with a woman or a man that they got to be worked on? She driving up in a Chevy with 4 tires, but you rather have somebody to drive up with a Chevy with 2. So you got to get under the car, go get the wrench, go get the tire, and put it together. Make it make sense.
Sis, do you think that's because it makes them feel needed?
That's what I'm saying.
Person in that situation, they need to feel needed.
But need versus want, I'd rather somebody desire me than need me.
I agree, but I think a lot of people have the two confused or don't understand the depth of desire versus need.
Because I was told, and I used to be like, when I heard somebody like, just you got always got it together. I really don't. I,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you what I got it together at, and I'm still working on that. Is on my knees talking to God. Because when I show up not in my own confidence. I show up in the confidence of God. Because I'll be lying to
Mm,
you that I could say, oh, I got it all together. But when I put a person or a place or a thing in a need, I got them in a place of God.
mhm.
But when I got them in a place of desire, I got him in a place of my person. I got him in a place that I want you, I desire you. And then if we have a need, we go to God to fill that need. Only God can fill the void because it get old.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to the movies get old. Having sex get old. We sitting here on the couch. You don't need nothing today.
You on one today, sis. Okay. You on one today. But
You
listen,
need some Kool-Aid, babe. You want me to get some Kool-Aid? Quiet as a mouse. We done Netflix chill so much that they don't name us a nip. Look, we Netflix and chill. How much Netflix and chill you gonna do?
right, 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 right.
But when you can say, look, let's go build a community in Ghana. Now you talking. Now you talking.
Mm,
Now you talking. Huh? Well, you know what? I was studying and God had dropped it in my heart to do the plans that I'm working on here to go and impact the world internationally, nationally. Wait a minute, wait a minute, let's cut off the Netflix and chill. You talking about a desire now. Because the Bible said that God gives you a heart's desire. See, everything that is in the word of God, it should be implemented in us in our relationship.
mhm.
But you sit on that. You need anything else? I'm getting ready to go to bed now. Then he rambling all night trying to find a need on the YouTube, on the Snapchat, on the Twitter.
The
Girls
tickety
hanging out, booze hanging out, boys swinging up, swinging to the left, swinging right, trying to find a void that only God can fill. But I'm tell you about me. When my husband walked through the door, I'm already done prayed for him. I'm laying hands on him. I'm speaking life in him. I'm desiring him to win in this day. And everything ain't about money.
mm,
Everything ain't about money, but everything is about being desired to impact each
mm,
other, our kids, our children, our family in this world. Because when we in a relationship, it's got to be bigger than a marriage. Oh, I want a ring. Oh, yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? Put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. Like I used old folks to say, no ringing, no dinky. I'm all the way. I'm no ringing, no dinky.
Sex is not intimacy.
Exactly. So why are you running to the bed? And look, why?
Oh man.
If sex is not intimacy, y'all, I'm in transition. Y'all see the couch. I know it's cute, but but if sex is not intimacy, and I mean, I don't have nothing against Steve Harvey, so don't cut a show. Why we running 90 days to get to the cookie? I don't want no cookie. Give me a steak. See, give me some substance. A cookie gonna make your stomach hurt after a while.
I want some smoked salmon, a little
Oh,
ahi tuna, maybe.
yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'll take a steak too. I'll
Yeah.
take a steak too, but
Yeah, man, I'm all about, the other day, you know what I'm saying? Desire. I was
hmm
in this, I was in my, my little place, and I was like, what can and I got me two turkey wings from the Publix, and got me, let me tell you about a woman. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about me and Dr. Fox.
hmm
We're women over here. Okay.
Okay.
We're not, I don't have to publicize. I know who I am, what I am, and what I can offer, and everything else, because it's what's God done put in me. But I went to the store, started me going through the line, the Big Mac, being single. But I am already preparing. I got me some lemon pepper sauce, and I smothered those turkey wings with lemon pepper. Oh my God, the chicken had to go out the door because the turkey was talking. And you know how my mind get, Dr. Fry, with animals and things that crawling. I didn't care. I said, lay your beautiful behind down.
Let me smother you in some
Smother
sauce.
you with some lemon pepper.
Smack it up, flip it, and rub it down. Yes.
Rub it down.
Yes, ma'am.
And then leave your stomach, and then it wasn't not left with trauma at all. See, when you get that, I'm always gonna go back to the kitchen, men and women.
Apparently.
Always, my mother was a cook, was a chef. If she can't cook and he can't cook, oh my, I need a woman to go in there and cook. Well, you gonna starve. You know what I'm saying? You gonna starve because you saying that what you need. But if you get a woman that desires, I love to cook because my mother loved to cook. It's in me. I get up in the morning, cook the breakfast, have the breakfast, have the lunch ready. When I cook the breakfast and the dinner, I'm already planning. That is me. And then we're gonna talk about servers, and we got about like 10 more minutes, 6 more minutes, 7 more minutes in this. But to our next series, but you gotta have people that desire to love you as well, not the need to love you, the desire. Cause need is like, man, you define that, Dr. Fry. Define that need versus want. I need to love you. I gotta love you. I'm in love with you. What day do you collect that? What I want to really break that down. I know I'm turning up, but when you go out on all, because I'm not a dater, period. I am not a dater. I'm not the person that goes on dates to waste my time and waste your time. I know what I want. I know what I want. I want to be in a relationship on purpose. It takes me about 5 or 10 minutes to see what type of time you on. It doesn't take that long. If I'm saying that this and this, and you getting all, and you all, oh my gosh, she doing all this. I'm telling you what God gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I wake up in the morning, my bank account like, did you excuse me? It's talking, it's in all kinds of language except deposits.
All right now.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can't get upset when Dr. Fry said, well, she got this and that and that, and somebody said, well, look, I drive Uber, but like you, and I always go back to Uber because I have clients that does well. So we're not on a, oh, I gotta have a man that make all this money. I gotta I need a man to have a strategy to make money, not have, what I'm saying, to have a strategy to when we don't have money to go in there, and make the flour pancakes and the salmon in the can and make and be happy and content. But I don't want to get down off on that. But what I'm saying, need versus want.
Yeah.
I need, I need a relationship. I need. But what do you desire? When God said, I give you the desire of your heart.
Well, need versus want or desire, right?
Mhm.
Um, Need is more so something essential, like you need this for survival. Like I cannot get along by myself. I have to have something else to help me along the way in order to be successful, in order to survive, in order to make ends meet. I need your help in order to get along, in order to have what I want.
Mhm.
Desire, for me is more so a longing, It's personal, it's
Yeah.
subjective.
Oh, I love that.
It's I definitely don't need this person in order to get along my day-to-day living. You you make me whole in a different way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you don't make me whole as in I can only pay for 60% of the bills in this house. I need you to at least put in 40% so that I can at least have a place to stay. I can have electricity, water, whatever the case is. Desire is I don't need you for that reason. I need you for a different reason.
Mhm.
There's an internal need
Yes. And
that
yes, yes.
you can help, fulfill.
Feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's my definition
And
of
that's me because
needs.
I've been categorized a lot, you know what I'm saying, to be in a certain box.
Hmm.
And then I have thought in my head, did I, should I come? No, I don't should need to come down. I need you to be the man that God made you for me in my life. That's it. Society
Yeah.
is telling you that that's her money or that's his money or that's what society's saying. But if God purposed two people together, it's not about our money. It's not, of course, you're gonna have balance and pay your bills and all that, but we talking about need versus want. It's not
Hmm.
all about that because when you put your money in the account and I put my money in the account, it's our account. When we drive up in our cars, it's our cars.
Right.
When we have our houses, it's our car. When we have our business, it's our. It's no 50. Because somebody asked me that one time, and I didn't know how to answer. I'm like, well, 50-50, because I didn't know. Because I really didn't. Because I'm in my mind, I'm like, well, what's in my account is yours. I mean, because we are only people. We're not gonna be in this world forever. That's what my mind
Hmm.
always goes. We're not gonna be here forever. So why be so gung ho on a word that you become lifeless in your relationship because there was never no desire.
Mm. Yeah.
It was when because that need, because you can need, oh, I want a burger today, I need a burger today. When you get that burger, there's no desire for it because after I ate them two chicken wings, them two turkey wings, I didn't have a desire for the chicken that I had the day the week before. It left. And I could have put the same lemon pepper, paprika, and slap your mama if you don't know how to cook. Slap your mama. Slap your mama season. Some people in there cooking with all that salt and giving you high blood pressure, feet swelling up before time, back ache and all that stuff. You know,
Slap your mama.
slap your mama season,
Hmm.
clean your chicken with vinegar and all the things. But anyway, that's a desire. Okay, clean your chicken with a little, put a little, you know what I'm saying, kill all the German stuff off of it. Good desire. But anyway, that need gonna leave you, and then you don't went after something that you feel like that you had a need in your life for, and when that need is fulfilled, there's nothing there because there was never desire for that person.
Hmm.
Because God gave you desire, and that desire come through purpose. God desire us to win. God desire us to be blessed. God desire us to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, lenders and not borrow. God desires because two is better than one. Now,
Absolutely.
next week topic, we're gonna talk about this. I don't need no man. I don't need you. Please. Dr. Fry, we 4 minutes over, but I'm just saying. It's many times I don't lay down in my bed. I'm like, man, look at here. Can I call somebody to go cut on the clothes? Oh, could you go? 'Cause I gotta get up because I don't left the door unlocked. Let me go and check the car and make sure. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I'm like, where's my man, my man, my man, Lord?
Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm up here, girl. I don't move. Well, that's enough. That's progress. But I don't put the bags and boxes and all the things, and I'm like, God, where is a strong man?
Yes, ma'am.
I desired it.
Yes, ma'am.
I went and got a cart for what I was trying to pull in my house, and that was a need. I went to Dickie's Sporting Goods because I was picking up a load yesterday. A cart with a handle in it, and I was pulling it around. This analogy, you guys, I was pulling the cart around because I was taking it up, bringing something in my house, right? There was a need for that. I drove and got in a need. It's sitting in the corner. So when you get in a relationship, unapologetically for truth, see that when your need is fulfilled, would you gonna put that man, that woman in a corner because you don't even desire him?
You didn't need me this episode. I was just, I just saying hey and bye, y'all. Yeah,
No, no,
Jessica
we're
took that,
good
ran with it.
because I've been misspoken for years about who I am and what people thought that I was in a relationship, and been told wrong things, and you don't need to be married and wait on God. And yes, you should wait on God, but you need to execute one day.
Yeah.
You need to execute something one day, you know. But I still yet I had a need again for to
Yeah.
get me one of them strollers to, because I was picking up 50 pounds, trying to 50 pounds of boxes I was bringing in my house. And then I looked at the thing. I said, "Where's the car that I paid $99 for?" Oh, it's over there in the corner. But when I can come home and lay on my husband's chest and say, "I desire you." Have
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do about with, but ain't no wrong with the sex. I don't have nothing to do with I just desire to lay my head because you know what? Because the God in him, everything brought such a peace because he been in prayer, he been in God's face, he done talked to God through the day, and he laid his head on me and say, "Baby, I got you. You want biscuits? What you want? Ice cream? You what you? I'm up. I came inside, lay my head, and had some good conversation. Ain't nothing like a good conversation with a man to me. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? There's nothing. I talked to Dr. Fry, but I like to have a conversation with a man. I always do because Dr. Fry know me. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mm-hmm.
different kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I came in tired, oh babe, I'm tired, I'm tired. I don't feel like cooking with. And then he started, "I got you. Come over here and just sit down." And then when he put his need, hmm, he put a desire. He put my desire, my need ahead of his desire. And I noticed that intimacy, that tiredness left me real quick. Next thing he said, "Where you going?" "Oh, you remember that steak you were talking about? You want that ragu? You were talking about?" I had already had prepped some. You know what? I know I was tired. Let me go ahead and run the back water for you. Everything. Look, then you don't went to the counter, and this morning you left. You had a lot of bills on the thing. Your husband, with his $26 an hour job. Let me tell y'all women this. Went and paid all the utilities. He didn't no, he didn't buy the Gucci. He didn't buy the, you go buy your own. But everything that was in the house that had a need, with that $26 an hour job, with that $100,000 job, with that, it was met. When you walked the door, vice versa with that woman, it was met. Where she went in there and baked a cake, it was met. It was that was met. These are the desires that you should be in the qualities of God. Because nothing is never a qualities man is not weighed on the money he have in his bank account, but it's what he does with it in his bank account. His bank account is not with the money, but the deposit he put in his spirit with the word of God. I'm done.
All right now. Listen, so much more to be said,
I
but
know
the
it's
thing,
4 weeks.
the good thing, this is a 4-week series that we're planning. So this is just week one, and we are gonna work to get some other voices on here who can have some relevant feedback, give different angles of this conversation, and just give us a different point of view. So we'll work
Absolutely.
on that. Absolutely. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Drop some comments. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Give us your opinions, your feedback, and give us some ideas for new topics that you would like to hear in the future. Until next week, thank you guys for joining us, and we appreciate the love and attention that we've received so far. And we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.